For the past couple of days, myself and a group of students got the opportunity to be a part of the Men of Color Student Leadership Institution and got to experience a little bit about a different world and about different people.
So thank you again for joining me, right? I always love having a conversation with you, right? So this past weekend, right, these days, I'm asking a couple questions, right? Would love to get your insight. When it comes to community, right, what do you think you've learned so far about the word community?
Community. I think it's a way that, it's a thing that can really benefit you as a person, but it can also benefit, itself. With a community, if you could like connect other people with each other, you could provide someone with a support system, or you could just give someone to be a partner. And sometimes that's enough to like bring someone up and help your community. Because if you help one person in the community, they can help someone else, which can help someone else, which will just grow the community as a whole.
Oh man, I love that answer. I love that answer because I love how you talk about like the why of it, right? Why you're doing it. So then, with that answer, which I appreciate, how would you get involved in, right? Like how would you involve yourself in that?
I say just do what your community is doing. Okay. Whatever one group is doing, try to involve yourself in that, or try to see where you can help out, or anything that they're doing. Just take an interest in that.
Yeah. Any interest in specific things to do? Like, is it more as like you work with the youth, or maybe you volunteer time at a senior living home? Like what is it that you would do to get involved?
Well, me in my community, back where I'm from.
Yes.
It's a very it's a sports heavy area.
Okay.
So I'm starting to learn how to play sports. Okay. Specifically basketball, because there's a basketball court right next to my house. Like there's a park, there's people there all the time.
So how do you feel about playing basketball with your community?
I feel like it was pretty cool considering that we came here 2 days ago and like I didn't know any of y'all. And then we got on the court and some of the advisors was telling us to chill out with the ish talking, but it was like we all know that it's basketball and we all building a brotherhood. So it's like arguing is part of that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like all of it combined, the arguing, the fighting, the hoops, the like high fives, the good teamwork, I feel like it all came together and made me closer with like everybody here. So that's how I feel like I got engaged in my community.
So did you feel like you were like, did you have like any problems like guarding anyone or you were like, unguardable?
Absolutely not. The fact that I was in jeans just straight dogging people was unacceptable. But it's cool though, because like at the end of the day, I feel like I made some people better. I feel like I made myself better. I feel like I learned a lot today actually, including with the baseball museum. The dude that was giving us the presentation on the history of baseball, he seemed really passionate, and it really felt good to like travel to a different state and like understand someone else's community.
The community around us wasn't the only thing that we had the opportunity to get engaged in. During our time here, we got a chance to visit the Negro Baseball League Museum.
All right. How do you feel about people saying that you were like, the black version of Babe Ruth? How do you feel about that?
It feels good. Well, Gibson was a very soft-spoken, jolly giant of a man, so he probably wouldn't say a whole lot.
He's not speaking.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't say a whole lot about himself, but the people who saw him play, they would say a lot about Josh. Yeah, now Josh.
Here, we got to learn about how the Negro Baseball League got no official recognition for a long while. Places like the museum help bring information to the younger generation about problems that they wouldn't find elsewhere. We then started to wonder about the effects this had on others. So after your time here, do you think the museum has changed your view on the world in any way?
Yeah, especially the baseball world. I don't really understand the baseball world, but seeing, my history of like the Negro League baseball, especially that we had one in Kansas City, the Monarchs. I think it shapes us really about how they fought, especially with like some groups of like black and white communities in the baseball team come together and play together, even around their time when it was segregated. Probably a lot of people are like, that's disgusting and all that. So I really think this does keep it up.
This showed us involvement in your community and engagement in the problems around you can have a change on the way you think about the world.
What does global mindset mean?
Global mindset to me is just how people see the world, like how you yourself see the world, and just your view on it based on your own experiences and everything you know about it.
Okay. And for you, How has your view of global mindset changed since coming to the conference?
Before coming to the conference, I feel like I had a little grasp of what global mindset was, but now that we're on the back end of the conference, I can confidently say that global mindset is not only the way that you travel and understand the people, but also their cultures and how they view the world as well.
And for you, how do you think a global mindset can impact your future?
I think having a global mindset as a young adult can help you like understand and be aware of your traditions and cultures around you. And as a business major, it can help my customer service skills because I'll be aware of what's around me, and also it helped me be conscious of the culture around me. How do you think having a global mindset affects you?
Well, it's interesting, man. The name of my company is actually called Brian Heat Worldwide. And so, with technology and, people just being so interconnected with families, work, and things that take them around the world, I think it's dope that no matter what you do as a profession or as an entrepreneur, that if you have that leadership mindset, you know that your gifts, your products, your service, your profession can't just engage just those people in your community. It may have value to those going beyond your community, beyond your state, beyond your country, and can impact people globally.
All right, and as men, how important is being a leader?
Well, it's interesting because I think a lot of people think about leadership from the standpoint of leading others. But anyone that knows leadership knows the first person you have to lead is yourself. And so a lot of times leadership begins with knowing who you are at a core level. Who are you, your character, your values, your beliefs, and then your habits, your choices. It's hard for people to follow you if you're not a good person. It's hard for people to follow you if you're not consistent in your execution, your vision. So I think if you want to be a good leader, you focus on personal growth, you focus on consistency, you focus on your own mission of where you're going with your life, and then it makes it easy for people to follow you and collaborate and support you because you're already leading you, the army of one.